Now for the summary of the WLAN configuration. So we have the remote site, the WLAN configuration. So we tackled the basic network setup and basic wireless setup. So basic network setup includes the following steps. So first is log in into the router from a web browser. So we use the web browser to access the router. Type in the username and password. So change the default administrative password here in this password section, and then log in with the new administrative password. So we'll go back to this. We'll use contemporary access, and then change the default Dhcp IPv4 passwords. So we change this for the setup and this network setup, the IP address and the send task. So renew the IP address. So we renew the IP address by typing ipconfig renew in the command prompt. And the last is log into the router with the new IP address. So the next one is basic wireless setup. So basic wireless setup includes the following steps. So we view the WLAN defaults. So we have the network name SSID set to default. So SSID broadcast enabled and standard channel. Next is change the network mode. So we have the legacy. So the legacy means that any wireless devices connected to this network can have any kind of wireless links. Configure the SSID and configure the channel. So first we have to change the SSID name to OfficeNet and then standard channel. So in this example, the channel 6 is selected. So specifically 1, 6, and 11 are the non-overlapping channels. Next is configure the security mode. So we have the security mode, the WPA personal and encryption. So we will need to set this to AES or TKIP. So the last step is configure the password. So it is used to authenticate for wireless devices. Now for the configure a basic WLAN on the WLC or the wireless LAN controller. So log into the WLC. So we are logging in through the web browser. Next is view AP and information. So after we authenticate our WLC, we'll be seeing the network summary, and then we can view the access point, the information of the access point. So we can see the IP address of the access point. Access point is the 192.168.200.3. And then advanced settings. So we can access the advanced settings here by clicking this button. Okay. Also, the basic WLAN configuration on the wireless LAN controller includes the following steps. So first is create the WLAN. So you can click this and type in the profile name and SSID. And next is apply and enable the WLAN. Here we need to check this checkbox enabled. Next is select the interface. We need to select the interface for the WLAN. Next is secure the WLAN. So in this example, they enable the PSK and type in the key and click apply. Next is verify the WLAN is operational. So you can see the WLAN is on the list now. Monitor the WLAN. So as you can see on the advanced settings, we have now one client. And then view the wireless client information. So we can view the information of the clients by clicking the monitor and the clients. So next is configure a WPA2 enterprise WLAN on the wireless LAN controller. So first we need to configure the SNMP server information. So we just need to follow the steps. So first, we need to click the management here, management tab, and then on the left side SNMP, trap receivers, and click new to configure our new trap receiver. Next is we need to enter the IP address and enable the status. So we need to have also the community name and hit apply. So next is configure radius or server information. So first we need to click the security, and then on the left side then click radius and then authentication, and click new. Next is you need to type in the server IP address and the shared secret. So this serves as a password between the radio server and the wireless LAN controller. Okay, next is, so as you can see, our radio server is now on the list. Next is to configure a new interface. So the first step is create a new interface, and then configure the VLAN name and ID. So we need to create the interface by clicking controller on the left side, the interface, and hit new. So we also need to set up the interface name and VLAN ID and hit apply. Next is we also need to specify the port number and the address of the VLAN ID. So we have the 5 VLAN ID. So we need to set up the IP address, net mask, and gateway for this VLAN. So next is we also need to specify the Dhcp server. Just click apply and then confirm the message. Now you can see the VLAN is now on the list. So next is configure the Dhcp scope. So we also need to create a new Dhcp scope. So on the controller, on the left click internal Dhcp server and Dhcp scope. Click new. Next is name the Dhcp scope. So in this example, we name it the wireless underscore management. Next is verify the new Dhcp scope. So as you can see, this is our new Dhcp scope. Then we need to configure and enable the new Dhcp scope. So we need to type in the default start address, to net mask. We also need to type in the default router and just verify the status as enabled. Next is just need to verify the enabled Dhcp scope. So as you can see in the list. Next is configure WPA enterprise WLAN. So we also need to create a new WLAN. So configure the WLAN name and SSID. So we just need to create a WLAN first and then click go. So they need the profile name and SSID and also ID. We just need to enable the status, which is the interface. In this example, we have the VLAN 5. Click apply and just confirm the message. Next is we need to verify the AES and 802.1x defaults. So we, in the security tab, we just need to check this AES for the encryption and enable this for authentication key management. So next is configure the WLAN security to use the radio server. So here in the AAA servers, just need to select the radio server and click apply, and we just need to verify the new WLAN. Here we have two WLAN, which is the WLAN and company name. Now for the troubleshoot WLAN issues. So we discussed the troubleshooting approaches. So a common and efficient troubleshooting methodology is based on the scientific method and can be broken into the 6 main steps. So these steps are, the first one is to identify the problem. Second is establish a theory of probable causes. 3 is test the theory to determine the cause. And 4 is establish a plan of action to resolve the problem and implement a solution. And 5 is verify full system functionality and implement preventive measures. And 6 is all about documentation. So document findings, actions, and outcomes. So we also wireless clients not connecting. So as you can see in this example here, our wireless client are not connected to the WLAN, the WLAN or the access points. And here, so if there is no connectivity, checks the following. So we need to confirm the network configuration on the PC using the ipconfig command. So we need to verify that the PC has received an IP address via Dhcp or is configured with a static IP address. We also need to confirm that the device can connect to the wired network. So if necessary, load the drivers as appropriate for the client. So if the wireless link of the client is working, check the security mode and encryption settings on the client. So we also have a scenario if the PC is operational but the wireless connection is performing poorly. So we need to check the following. So doing how far is the PC from the AP access point. So it's all about distance. So we also need to check the channel settings on the wireless client. So if it's overlapping, check for the presence of other devices in the area that may interfere with the hour band. So troubleshooting when the network is slow. So the thing is, these are the solutions. So upgrade your wireless clients or split traffic. So the old versions can definitely slow down your network, and split the traffic is splitting our band. So the reason for split the traffic approach. So it may be suitable for basic internet traffic that's not time sensitive. So, and the bandwidth may still be shared with other nearby WLANs. So this band is much less crowded than this band. It's ideal for streaming multimedia, and this band has more channels, therefore the channel chosen is likely interference free.